All right. So can everyone see my screen? I hope so. Let's see. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Stacy Smith-Clark, and I am the center manager at the Child Development Center on the Trades, Technology, and Community Learning Campus, formerly known as the Pacific Coast Campus. Thank you all for logging on today for our new parent and family orientation. If everybody can remain on mute, because I'm recording this for anybody who is unable to attend today, and so they can watch the recording, and then at the end there'll be time for questions. And this is an opportunity to go through the parent and family handbook together and review our policies that you need to know. I don't go through the entire handbook because it's pretty lengthy if you've seen it, and we would be here until your children start at high school. So I'm going to go over the things that most people have questions about, and if there's anything I don't cover or anything that you would like me to cover or have more clarification upon, I'll be happy to respond to those questions. So we will go ahead and get started. So welcome. We're so excited to have all of you joining us at the Child Development Center. The new school year for the Tierra Part Day classroom starts next Friday, August 1st, with a mixer, which is just a 1-hour meeting. And then for the full day programs, which would be in Fuego, Agua, and Viento, those classrooms start on Monday, August 25th. I cannot believe that summer is almost over. Our educators are getting ready, and we're so excited to welcome all of you. And these photos on the screen right now are some of our fantastic families that we have enrolled, and we're so excited to meet your children and get to know you all better. So here is a picture of some members of our team, and then letting you know who's in each classroom. We've recently had some changes because we are very excited that 2 of our associate teachers that have been here for a while just promoted as lead teachers. And so Brooke LaFleur is now the lead teacher in the Agua classroom. And Susana Maria Ramirez, who's been with us for 12 years, just moved over to our sister site. And we have 5 classrooms here. We have 3 full day classrooms and then 1 part day classroom. And we will also be sending out a letter at the beginning of the new school year and then welcoming all of you at the mixer. And so you will get to know all of the people that are mentioned here on this screen. And I'm going to talk pretty fast because orientation usually takes about an hour, but I appreciate all of you taking time out of your very busy schedules to be here. And I want to make sure that I honor your time as well. Here's our administration team. There's me, Stacy. Again, I'm the center manager. I've been here at the Child Development Center for 20 years in August, so a very, very long time. I still love coming to work every day. I'm born and raised in Long Beach. I grew up going to all Long Beach schools. I actually went to preschool at the Liberal Arts Campus Child Development Center, and I got my associate's degree in child development at Long Beach City College before getting my bachelor's and master's degrees. And I love working in the community where I still reside. I love Long Beach. I'm married to Colin, who's a professor. He teaches here. He teaches psychology and research methods classes. And we have a daughter who is grown up and is in law school right now and living on the East Coast and loving her life there. And look forward to getting to know you all better. I'm sure that you have met Vanessa, who is our administrative assistant. She collects all of our licensing paperwork. She is fantastic. Soledad Burton is our accountant, and she's the one who manages all of the enrollment and our grant funding for the subsidized program. And then Rathni Min works part-time and also has a remote day. She is our nutrition coordinator. So she oversees our food program. So this is our administrative team. Some awards and accolades that we've received. Our program has 2 preschool teachers of the year. Debbie Watts was selected in 2014 and Angelica Hernandez was selected in 2017. No other program in Long Beach has more than 1, and no other program anywhere has 2 at one center. So we are very proud that we have 2 working here. I was selected as the Director of the Year by the National Coalition for Campus Children's Centers in 2016. And we certainly don't do this work for the awards, but it's very, very nice to be recognized for our quality. We also participate in a program called Quality Start Los Angeles, which is a voluntary program where we complete extra training and we agree to be assessed by professional evaluators. We've been involved in this program for about 15 years, and they give you a score between 1 and 5. And every cycle, we always scored a 4, which was above average. And we were very proud of that. But we were very, very thrilled to finally get ranked a 5, which is the highest you can possibly get with our last assessment last year. This team worked so hard, and we are absolutely thrilled that that was recognized. So we share resources and information from Quality Start Los Angeles often with parents and families. They have so many great things, and we are really excited to partner with them to be able to offer more to our community. We are part of the Child Development and Educational Studies Department. Everyone here is an employee of Long Beach City College, and then we work in conjunction with the Child Development Department. We are also a lab school, which means that we are a training facility for future educators as well. So over the course of the year, we have approximately 1,000 students that use the Child Development Center as their lab. And so students are making appointments online, and then they come to the center and they show us their identification, and they show us that they are enrolled in a child development class at the college. We check them in, we give them a name badge to wear, and then they go into the classroom and they do their assignment. So their assignment could be something like, look at the environment and see what health and safety practices are there, or look at how children are interacting with each other and what kind of language are they using. In all of the classes, with the exception of 2, the students are not allowed to speak with the children or interact with them in any way. They are always observed by our staff. The 2 classes that are authorized to speak with children, one is a fieldwork class, and those students are here on Tuesday mornings, and they go to a lecture, and then they go in the classrooms and they work, and then they go back into the class lecture and talk to their faculty member about what they've seen. So while they're here, they're supervised by us, and they're also supervised by their instructor, who is a faculty member. The other class is called Practicum, and that's typically the last class that students take. And they are assigned with one of our lead teachers who serves as their mentor, and they are practicing being a teacher for 1 day a week, just for the morning over the course of the semester. And so even though we make them think they have responsibilities in the classroom, they absolutely do not. They don't have any caregiving responsibilities. They are never left alone with children. They are always supervised by us. And the 2 classes that are able to speak and interact with children, we make sure that they are immunized, vaccinated, that they are fingerprinted and cleared through licensing, that they've completed the child abuse training. So they do all of the things as if they were going to work here, but they don't actually work here. So if your child mentions somebody that you have never heard of before, it is probably a student. And in every classroom, there's a bulletin board of the students that are working in the classroom every week. So you can be familiar with who your child is interacting with. And if you ever have a question about this or want more information or want to observe, then you're certainly welcome to come in. We have an open door policy, so you or anyone that's authorized on your child's licensing form is welcome to come in and spend time in the center. And if any of you have questions throughout, please feel free to drop them in the chat, and then I will answer all of those as we wrap up. So we don't forget to go back and do that. So we have a monthly calendar of center events. These are available right next to the front door in the lobby. The calendar is on one side and our menu is on the other side. And this just lists special events that we have throughout the month. We also have our tuition rate sheets if you are a tuition-based family. And then we have a list of all of the closure dates. So the Child Development Centers observe all of the holidays that the Board of Trustees has approved at Long Beach City College. And we also are closed an additional 3 days a year for staff training. So we do one in the fall, one in the spring, and then another one really close to summer. And we try and make sure that everybody knows when those days are coming up so you can make other arrangements for care if needed. And then these forms are also available in the front lobby and also available on our website. I also send out a newsletter every week, and all of those dates are listed as well. So here at the Child Development Center, with our philosophy, we believe that there is an interconnectedness between children, family, and the community. We believe in building positive relationships through a high quality environment. We believe that all children are valuable. We believe that learning occurs through active participation. So we are trying to create engaging and inviting and nurturing and loving indoor and outdoor environments for all of the children and families that we serve, and for all of the students that use this as their lab to learn how to be an educator or a healthcare professional. And I also forgot to mention that these programs have been around since 1950. So it has been years and years that these programs have been serving our community in Long Beach. So our curriculum is really a combination of a lot of different types of curriculum. We believe that children learn by doing. We try and support the interests of each child. We believe in emotional and cognitive skill development, and we present opportunities every day for children to explore and have meaningful and engaging experiences with. So as parents, you may have heard terms like Montessori or high scope or Reggio Emilia. These are all different types of curriculum and philosophy. And for us at the Child Development Center and as a lab school, we really don't want a one size fits all. Since we are a training facility for future educators, we don't want to follow just one practice because it's unlikely that all of our students will enter the workforce and be working at a school with a similar type of philosophy. So we feel that we have the unique opportunity to take what we like best from each of those curriculums and each of those philosophies and implement those into our program. So it's really a combination of different theories. We are all educated in child development. All of our teachers have their degrees in child development. We love talking about early childhood education. So if you have any questions, please hit us up at any time. We can go on and on and on. I can go on and on and on. Please let us know what you're wanting more information about. And I used to say that our program is not academic. It is academic. We just do it in a very developmental way. We believe that children learn best through play and through setting up engaging opportunities. They are learning math and science and history and art and music. So all of those things, we are doing them in a very developmental and emergent way. We're getting to know your child as an individual, and we're finding out what they're interested in, and then we are planning curriculum around that. And we're also going to ask you questions about what you do after school and on the weekends, and seeing if we can implement that into our program as well to really bridge a homeschool connection. And we promise you that your child will be ready for kindergarten. We are well aware of all of the standards for kindergarten, and we follow along with that in a very developmental way. If your child is never wanting to sit down for circle time, or if they're never wanting to practice writing, then we'll have a conversation with you and say, we're really noticing that your child isn't doing this. Here's what we're doing at school to encourage them. Here are some things that you can do at home to encourage them as well. And we'll work together as a team to help them learn those skills. We also practice anti-bias and anti-racist education. Despite whatever is happening in the government, we believe that this is what is best. We are proud to be in Long Beach, a very diverse city, and everyone is welcome here. We have all different types of families, and every single one of them is recognized and valued. Right now, I think we have 9 different languages that are spoken in the center. We try and value home languages and pay honor and respect to that. At one time, we had 13 different languages that were spoken at the center. If you speak another language at home, when you start the school year, your child's teacher is going to ask you for some more information to make sure that we're using some familiar words for your child, again, to bridge that home and school connection. And you will see this sign all around our center, which is our promise that all children and all families belong here. And we hope that you see yourselves within our program and our curriculum. So our hours and days of operation, we're a year-round program, with the exception of the part day program, Tierra. They're closed during the month of July, but our full day programs are open all 12 months. And we are open Monday through Friday. For our full day programs, we open at 7 a.m. and we close at 5:30 p.m. Families frequently ask, does my child have to be there from 7 to 5:30? And we hope not, because that's a really, really, really long day. Most children arrive during the 8 o'clock hour and get picked up in the 4 o'clock hour. But if you need to get to work or school early, then we do open as early as 7, and all children do need to be picked up by 5:30 p.m. If you're in the subsidized program, those hours that are set are based on your needs. So you have a contract based on whatever your school or work schedule is, and then you will follow along with whatever is on that contract. The part day program, Tierra, is open for 3 hours a day, 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning and 12:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. There is no before or after care available. So if the 3 hours is not sufficient to you, then please come and speak with a member of our admin team, and we can see if we have any options for you in the full day program. A tuition is based on enrollment, not attendance, which means that if you take a vacation or if your child is out sick, that there is not a tuition credit for those days, because we are still providing care even if you're not here. So tuition is charged regardless, and tuition is due on the first day of the week that your child attends. If tuition is not paid on time, there could be a $20 late fee, and there could be a $15 late charge for any return checks. Our targeted ratios for the toddler preschool program, where children are 2 to 3 years old, that is a 1 teacher to 4 child ratio. And for preschool, it is a 1 teacher to 8 children ratio. And state ratio is 1 to 12. So we are well below that. We cannot believe that there are some programs where there is one teacher with 12 two-year-olds. That seems like a lot. And so we do what we feel is best for children with these lower ratios. We do parent family teacher conferences twice a year. We have one in the fall and then we have another in the spring. Since we are a partially state funded program, we are mandated to use an assessment called the Desired Results Developmental Profile, also known as the DRDP. We do 2 full DRDP assessments for children twice a year. We do not show it to you until the spring because we found that when we show it to parents and families in the fall, when your children are just beginning school, and if your child is not all the way at the top level, parents freak out and think that they need to get their child tutoring or something, and you absolutely do not. So in the spring, we show it to you. We show you where your child is developmentally, what they've worked on this year. If we have any developmental concerns, then we're not going to wait until the conference. We're going to have a separate conversation with you. And again, say, we're noticing this. Are these some things that you see at home? Here are some things that we can do together to work on that. Or maybe let's contact an outside resource and get some extra support. And that looks like this. So we have many children that are enrolled that also have speech therapy, or they have a different type of therapy to help them get caught up with their peers their age. And as long as we're able to accommodate all of those needs within, we are happy to have the children enrolled here. We have children here that have a diagnosis of autism. We've had a child with a hearing loss and a vision loss and cerebral palsy. So as long as we can accommodate the need, we want to serve everyone within our community. So health and safety, what is the center's illness and wellness policy? We don't want anybody to come to school when they're sick. And we define sick as a non-clear nasal discharge. So if your child has green or yellow boogers, we do not want them to come to school. If they have a fever if a fever 100 degrees or over, if they are vomiting, if they have an unexplained rash, if they have an uncontrollable cough, any of those things, we do not want them to come to school, and we want them to remain at home until they're symptom-free without medication for a full 24 hours. So if your child vomits at 6 p.m., we do not want them to come to school the next day. We want them to stay home the next day, and if they don't vomit again, then they're welcome to come back to school the following day. And we believe that this is the best way to reduce the spread of illness. And if your child has never been in group care before, welcome. They're about to get sick a lot, and they're about to share all of those germs with you. And I apologize in advance, but young children touch everything, and then they touch their faces and their mouths. And we clean several times a day. We bleach toys. We do a full disinfecting every evening. We have an amazing custodial team of 3 custodians who come in when the center is closed and spend 8 hours cleaning up every evening. And this place is like a petri dish. So we do our best to ensure that it is as clean and safe as possible, but when your child enters group care for the first time, they generally get sick a lot. And the trade-off is that after a year, they have an immune system of steel. And we all move through that. What happens if a child is injured or becomes ill at school? We ask that you come and pick them up within an hour. So it's important that you always have current phone numbers and ways to reach you on your child's emergency sheet, as well as any other family members that you've authorized to come and pick them up. We want to make sure that in case of an emergency, we're able to reach you. If your child has a communicable disease, and this would be something like pink eye or hand, foot, and mouth or head lice, any of those things, we appreciate you letting us know so we can let other families know that this is going around the center. If you have never heard of those things before, welcome to preschool, friends. Those are all very, very contagious things that frequently children are contagious before they ever show signs or symptoms. So it's truly impossible to eliminate them while children are contagious. Your child's health history is confidential. So we would never say, Vanessa has pink eye and your child was playing with Vanessa, so you might want to keep an eye on them. But we will post a notice that says a child in the Enfuego classroom has pink eye. These are the symptoms of pink eye or conjunctivitis. If your child has this, this is what you can do. And just to give you the heads up. So if your child wakes up and they have goopy eyes and they're in the Enfuego classroom, then they probably have pink eye. Go and get some eye drops, give them the eye drops, and then they can come back to school. So we appreciate you just letting us know so we can let the rest of our community know what might be going around. If your child has any allergies, we want you to let us know that on their enrollment paperwork so we can ensure that we are keeping a safe environment for them. Our food program is generally able to accommodate all allergies, but if a child is not supposed to have cow's milk or they're not supposed to have soy milk, then please let us know so we can make sure that everybody is aware of this. If your child ever needs medication at school, we are happy to administer that to them as long as we have a doctor's note. We are a program that's licensed by the Department of Social Services, and they mandate that any medication, whether it is prescription or over the counter, has to have a doctor's note that says what the medication is and how much they need. So if your child has a cold and they get an antibiotic like amoxicillin, the box or the bottle that has the note from the pharmacy, we can accept that as the doctor's note. So you don't have to have the doctor write a separate note, but it does have to be something from a medical professional. And then you will also come and see somebody in administration, and we will give you a form that you will fill out and say, this is when my child needs the medication and how much. We are not able to give medication as needed because of a licensing regulation. So if you wanted to say my child has a cough and please give them this Robitussin if they are coughing, we cannot do that. But if you have a doctor's note and you say give them 1 teaspoon of Robitussin at 11 a.m., then we can do that. And if you have any questions about this or really anything in the handbook or anything in this PowerPoint, because I am bombarding you with so much information right now, but please just reach out to us anytime with any follow-up questions or for clarification. Emergency drills. We do emergency drills every month. We do a full center evacuation drill. We also do an earthquake drill on the same day, and we also do a shelter in place drill the same time. We believe the time to practice an emergency drill is not when an emergency is happening. So we try and do this regularly to make sure that all of us stay sharp and stay aware of how to evacuate the center. We do, well, not really we, I make sure the alarms are pulled twice a year for the drill. Other than that, it's just practice without the alarms because the alarms are really loud and they upset everybody because they are so loud. But again, in case of a real emergency, we need to have practiced with the alarms as well. So twice a year, it is a surprise to everyone except me. And then everyone's mad at me for 2 days for disrupting their day with the loud noises. But it's a good practice drill. We do earthquake drill, and we also do a shelter in place lockdown drill. We have different levels of this, and nobody likes to think about an active assailant or an active shooter, but it's the reality. in this day and age. And again, we want to practice for all scenarios and make sure that we're as prepared as possible. So for a shelter in place or lockdown drill, we simply tell children that we're doing this in case of an emergency and that we need to get ourselves to safety. We don't give them any more information than that. And we also let you know through a messaging app or in our newsletter that that is happening or that that happens. So you're aware as well. And if you have any questions, just let us know. What security measures are in place at the Child Development Center? Our front doors are locked at all times. And if you've been here, you know that you will ring the doorbell when you arrive. And once we recognize you, we will buzz you in. If we don't recognize you, we will ask how we can help you via the intercom. We also have alarms and locked gates all around the perimeter of the center. They can be unlocked. There's a 2-second delay in order to get out in case of an emergency. We also have cameras all around the perimeter of the center. These are not monitored by us, but they are monitored by Campus Police, and Long Beach Police Department also has access to them. There's a business in Long Beach called Vast that is located nearby, and they rent parking spaces from the college, and they provide a security guard to watch their employees' cars. And that security guard sits in front of the Child Development Center. And we love that. It's not our security guard, but it looks like we have a security guard. So we're friends with all of them. And yeah. If you have any questions about any of this, please just let me know or type it in the chat, and I'll be happy to circle back to that. What should my child wear to school? Your child should not wear anything to school that you ever, ever, ever want to see clean again, because we're going to ruin it all. We have so much paint and mud and awesome things that are really, really messy. So there is no judgment whatsoever when your child shows up in some stained clothes that we already ruined here. Anyone who wears white to this center is doing so at their own risk. We have smocks and aprons for children to wear if they're going to do a messy activity, and they pretty much never want to do that. And if they have to change their clothes to participate in an activity, they just won't do it. So please just send them in clothing that you don't mind if they get paint or mud all over it. If any of us were to get paint on us, we would easily be able to get it out. We buy washable paint, we add soap to the paint, but young children immerse themselves and soak themselves in paint, and really Tide, OxyClean, any of those things, it's just not a match. So please just send them in clothes that you don't care if you ever see it clean again. The only rule we have for shoes is that if children are riding the bikes or scooters, they do need to have closed-toed shoes on just for safety. Crocs are fine. If your child doesn't like to wear closed-toed shoes, they can have a set of shoes in their cubby that they can wear just for bikes, and they're welcome to wear whatever kind of shoes they want for any other activity, or no shoes. We're pretty free with all of that. We would like all of their clothing labeled with their name or initials, so that if they take it off or leave it somewhere, that we're able to get it back to the right classroom and the right child. There are Sharpie markers available at the front desk and in every single classroom. So if you forget to put their initials in a jacket or something, then feel free to just grab that pen and do that. 2 years ago, we had 7 children in one class that all had the same Spider-Man shoes, and I don't know whose shoes went home with who on any given day until there were initials and names on them, so we could help them with that. We have to abide by all car seat laws. So we have the latest car seat law posted in our lobby for your review, and anyone who is transporting a child should have the appropriate car seat for them. If you send somebody to pick up your child and they do not have a car seat, then we are not allowed to release your child to them. So please make sure that that is taken care of. If you have a car seat that you need to leave for somebody to pick up your child, we have a place for those in our lobby, and then we can put your child's name on it. So the person that is coming to pick them up will have access to that. We're not allowed to have extra car seats here for people to borrow because that's some type of liability. If you need a car seat and you're not sure how to get one, sometimes the health department has a grant where they will provide car seats to families in need. So if that is your situation, then please let administration know and we will try and connect you with them. Also with car stuff, please don't leave any children alone in a car. Even if you're just running in to pick up your child, that's illegal. And I guarantee you that somebody will call the police and it'll be a whole thing. So please just bring them in with you. And if there's a situation where you can't bring them in, then call us at the front desk and we'll see what we can work out to support the situation. Photo release. In the 70 million papers and forms that we've given you to sign up, there is a photo release form. If you do not want your child's picture taken at school, please let us know. And there's different degrees to this. So if you don't want your child to be photographed at all, then we will abide by that. But that also means that they will not be in any class pictures, or they won't be in any art projects or have any pictures in the classroom. Again, if that's your preference, then we will absolutely abide by that. If you just don't want your child's photo on social media, we respect that. And then we will make sure that they are participating in all of the other things, but not social media. So please let us know what you're thinking with that and what your preferences are. In regards to social media, we have an Instagram account that we post on probably 3 to 4 times a week. We never list children by name. And if anybody does mention their name, and it's usually a very excited grandparent, then we delete the comment and we send them a message and say, thank you so much for your support. Please don't mention anybody by name here. Sunscreen, we want everybody to have sunscreen on every single day. And we want children to arrive at school with sunscreen already on, or when you arrive at school with them, you apply the first layer of sunscreen, and then we will reapply throughout the day. And then we would like every child to have their own bottle of sunscreen here labeled with their name that we can use to apply for them. Emergency preparedness. I already went through all of that with the different things that we do to prepare. And all of our teachers and myself are certified in child, infant, adult CPR and first aid. We also have 2 AED monitors on site at the center, and we also go through training on how to use those as well. Excuse me. So our drop-off and pickup procedures, we utilize sign-in books, and they're physical books that are in the classroom, and your child will have a sign-in sheet, an out sheet for the entire month. So when you arrive, you're going to go to your child's page, and then we want you to sign them in with the time that you're arriving, and then use a full legal and legible signature. We want you to walk your child into the classroom and then make sure that an educator has seen them before you leave. And then when you leave, we want you to, again, list the time that you're leaving, and again, use a legal and legible signature. And then you will walk them through the front lobby and out the front doors. This wording is a little bit outdated from COVID, so I need to fix that. It's just thrown me off a little bit. But yes, everybody walks their child to and from the classrooms. Authorization for pickup. So again, on your many forms, you have indicated who is allowed to pick up your child from school. Anybody can drop off, but if somebody wants to take your child out of the center, they need to be authorized on the paperwork by the child's parents or enrolling guardians. And the people picking up have to be 18 or older. They need to have a photo ID. Everybody in the center should always have their photo ID on them, because until we start to recognize you, we're going to check that. If Vanessa is not here and somebody else is at the front desk that day, they're not going to know everybody who may come in and out of the program. So we want to make sure that everybody has an ID to make sure that we're not releasing your child to anybody who's not authorized. And I already mentioned keeping all emergency information updated. And we are assuming that both parents within the family have the right to drop off and pick up the child. If there are any custody orders or restraining orders, please let us know so we can make sure that we have those on file and have a plan for that. And we will abide by whatever the court order says. And if you need information on custody or any type of restraining order, then we also have resources that we can share with you to assist you with that as well. Our goal is to keep all children and families as safe as possible. And please note that children cannot be released to any person under the influence of alcohol or drugs. So please don't come to the center drunk or high. Nutrition guidelines. We are part of the California Food Program, so we provide all food and beverages throughout the day. We serve a morning snack, which is essentially breakfast, and then we serve lunch and an afternoon snack. That's in the full day program. For the part day program, there's a snack. It's breakfast if they're in the morning program and an afternoon snack in the afternoon. Our food program vendor is Corner Kitchen, and they're located in Long Beach. It's a hot lunch that they provide Monday through Thursday, and Fridays it's deconstructed sandwiches, because we are well aware that your children don't want any of their food touching their other food, because it's just a preschool thing. We do not want any outside food coming into the program. If you want your child to have special food, then we have paperwork that needs to be filled out, and it needs to be a medical necessity, which is part of our grant. Our food vendor thus far has been able to accommodate all food allergies and families that are vegetarian or vegan or that don't eat pork or don't eat beef. So if you have any allergies or preferences like that, then please let us know, and we can work together to make sure that needs are met. Sometimes the classrooms will ask for vegetable and fruit donations to help supplement lunch and snack. So if that's something you're financially and willing to do, then we greatly appreciate that. That's always optional. And we will let you know if there's any allergies in the classroom, so you don't bring that type of fruit or vegetable. We also don't want any outside food coming into the program because we have children that have allergies. So if somebody rolls up in here with a peanut butter sandwich, everyone's going to flip out. So please don't do that. If your child is still finishing their breakfast when you arrive at school, please have them finish that outside the center or at the very last thing in the center lobby, not walking across the playground, because we don't want any of that to fall down and then somebody with a food allergy picks it up and has an allergic reaction. And if you have coffee in the morning, it's a licensing regulation that hot coffee cannot go into classrooms. So if you come in with your cup of coffee, we're going to ask you to leave that at the front desk, drop off your child, and then you can pick that up again on your way out. We are a nut sensitive center, so we do not want any peanut butter, any type of tree nuts here in the program at all, to keep children safe. We have a number of children with nut allergies and EpiPens, and we do not want them to be exposed to something that could be dangerous for them. I forgot to add that if your child needs a different kind of milk besides cow's milk or soy milk, which is what we provide, then you're welcome to bring that in for them. We do need a note for that, but it can't be almond milk, but it could be oat milk, it could be Lactaid. And if that is your situation, then please let us know and we will work with you to get that set up. We believe in positive guidance and discipline, and our goal is to assist children in developing emotional regulation and self-discipline through respectful interactions that support children's emotional growth. And we really believe that we cannot teach children to behave better by making them feel worse. There is no punishment at the center. There's no timeout. There's no shaming. There's no humiliation. There's certainly nothing physical. We want children to learn problem solving behaviors, and pretty much everything is a developmental phase. And so we are working with them to help them navigate that phase. And preschool is about learning social skills. And again, like part of child development is just helping them work through all of that. So within preschool, I guarantee your child's going to hit somebody and somebody's going to hit your child. There is some type of fight club that happens here every single week. And as children are learning communication skills and learning how to be a friend and make friends, sometimes things get physical, and our low ratios enable us that we're always super close to them. We're always supervising them by sight and sound. And if we see it's going to happen, then we do our best to stop it before it happens. But some of these children are very, very quick. And so we are doing our best to help them regulate their emotions and react and respond in appropriate ways. The only rules we have here are to respect yourself, respect others, and respect property. Obviously, with young children, we're much more specific about what that means, but it is an ongoing work in progress. And if there are challenging behaviors, we work directly with that child. We do our best to stop the inappropriate behavior through observation and determining what is motivating the behavior. When I was a preschool teacher, I had a child that just started biting everybody. It was like on a biting rampage. And then through observation, I realized he bit somebody every day between 10:10 and 10:15. And it turned out he was just hungry. So we served snack to him a little bit earlier and he never bit again. So we're really trying to see what's going on and then help meet their needs that way. We document behaviors, sometimes looking for trends, or if we can find out what that pattern is, that would be an incident report. And then if a child is injured at school, we use an ouch report. And we use positive guidance techniques such as active listening, shadowing, coaching, sportscasting. If any of these terms are unfamiliar to you, we will be sharing articles and different training techniques that we use with all of our staff. We share that with parents and families as well through our weekly newsletter, or if you ask for resources, so we can bridge that homeschool connection. If you ever have any concerns about your child's behavior, then please come and speak with us, and we are happy to help support you. If you have concerns about another child's behavior, or if your child says, I don't like this child because they're really mean and they're doing this and that, please come and talk to us. We're probably already aware, and we are never going to talk to you about any child other than your own. But you can also rest assured that we are never going to talk about your child with anybody other than you. And if you have any concerns, we do not want you to confront that child directly. That is completely inappropriate. We want you to come and speak with a staff member so we can determine the best plan of action together. So here are some examples of what an ouch report looks like and an incident report. These are I forget what the paper is called, but it's basically makes an automatic copy. So after you sign it, then you get, after everybody signed it, then you get a copy, and then we maintain a copy in the file as well. The ouch report is for a minor injury. If it's a bigger injury, which hopefully it's not, knock on wood, then we'll also give you a call as well to let you know that this happened. Usually if it's going to leave a mark, we'll just call you or send you a message just so you're prepared before you get here. If it's something where we want you to come and take a look at it, or we think it requires medical attention, then we're absolutely going to call you. For the incident report, this is, again, looking for patterns of behavior and to let you know what's happening at school as well. And if you have any questions about these, then please let us know. How to stay connected within the center. I send a weekly newsletter every week via email, and we also have a daily schedule and a weekly curriculum plan that is posted in our computer lab and also in classrooms. Teachers also send these out via the Band app, which is an app that we use to communicate with parents and families. We have a dry erase board in the lobby, and we also have a bulletin board in the lobby with announcements and information. There's also an information board in each classroom. We also have a website. We also have Instagram. For the Band app, when you come to the upcoming mixer, there will be a QR code that you can scan, or at the beginning of the school year, you'll receive an email with the QR code or a link to sign up. The app is free, and this will be just for your child's classroom, and we'll have different announcements and information, and you can also message directly back and forth with the teachers. Each classroom tries to post at least twice a week in these apps. And we have lots of different ways to stay connected. And if you're the type of person that reads every single thing, then I'm sorry that so much of the information is redundant, but we've never found a one size fits all that works for everyone. So we try and do all of the things to make sure that everyone is aware of what's happening. Birthdays are a huge deal to preschoolers, and we celebrate everybody's birthday unless you ask us not to, or unless they ask us not to. Birthdays are celebrated in the exact same way for every single child. So there is never a situation where somebody's birthday is better than somebody else's. We do not allow birthday cakes or cupcakes or balloons or any other activities, or like an Elsa or a Spider-Man, to be brought in. Because again, we want it to be consistent for every single child. If you would like to share a special snack, then you can talk with your child's teacher, and they can let you know what you can bring in to help supplement snack. And it's usually something super exciting like yogurt and fruit, or bagels and cream cheese. And we will acknowledge the birthday and celebrate, and then we all move on. If there are any birthday invitations, you can drop them off at the front desk labeled with the recipient's name. We don't want them to be handed out in the classroom because they become a distraction in the classroom, especially if not everybody is invited. And then there are lots of hurt feelings and lots of emotions around that. Another great thing through the Band app is that you can just message other parents and families directly to set up play dates or invite them to birthday parties. So we hope you'll take advantage of that. Supporting the Child Development Center. Volunteering is always welcome. On Thursdays, we receive between 300 and 500 pounds of groceries from a local Trader Joe's through an organization called Food Finders, and we set up a free food pantry in our lobby. And this is so much labor, but we do it because it's an amazing opportunity, and it helps so many of our families that are food insecure. If you're ever available, excuse me, on a Thursday morning, we can always use some extra hands getting that set up. We have lots of garden and green spaces here, and we always need help with watering plants and watering our garden or pulling weeds. So if that is something you are interested in doing, we would love it. Donations are welcome. We have fundraising events periodically. We sometimes have book fairs. Classrooms have wish lists of things that they could use in their classroom. They might be things that you could find at home, or they might be things that you could make a purchase for. We do a holiday giving program every year. So some of our families that are really struggling during the holidays, we gather some gifts anonymously for these families and then give it to them so they can gift that to their children. And if that's something you want to participate in, you are welcome to. Again, all of this is optional. Supplies that we have an ongoing need for would be paper plates and plastic spoons and forks, disposable cups. We do use real plates and cups and silverware in the classroom, but occasionally for a cooking activity, we'll use paper products. And we do have a budget for these things, but typically all of our money for these types of things, plus Kleenex and laundry detergent and dishwashing soap, is used up by March. And then I have to use fundraising money for it, which is a real bummer to buy dish soap with fundraising money or activity money. We also love popsicles and paletas here. So if you are financially able and it's something you want to do, pick up any of these things, you are welcome to bring those, and we will all be so excited, but it is absolutely not necessary. Dismissal from the Child Development Center. Families could be terminated for any of the following reasons: failure to pay tuition or late fees on time, to keep your information updated. If you have 3 late pickups within the school year, which is July 1st through June 30th, or the inability to conduct yourself in a professional manner while interacting with staff or other parents and families at the center, or failure to follow any of our policies. So please make sure you're abiding by all of these. The subsidized program has some different guidelines, and just to briefly review those. So we have 2 types of programs here. One is tuition based and another one is subsidized. So families that qualify as low income may qualify for some of the $1.6 million in childcare funding. We are thrilled that we have this money to provide care for our community. And families have to qualify by income first. And for the full day program, there also has to be a need for those hours. And that is why Soledad asks you so many questions and collects even more paperwork to make sure that you meet the qualifications for this program, because when we are audited, they are going through every single piece of paper to make sure that we are following this and deserve the grant money. There are different attendance policies for families in the subsidized care program. So absences are limited, exclusionary from sick days. So sick days are always excused absences. We don't ever want children that are sick or ill to come to school. If you are not feeling well and you don't feel up to bringing your child to school that day, then that is also an excused absence. So please don't rush an ill child back to school because you're afraid that they're going to have an unexcused absence. We do appreciate you letting us know for all programs if your child is not going to be here, so we can just keep tabs on who's coming and who's not coming that day. There are 10 best interest days in the subsidized program. So if you get to go to Disneyland for a day, or you take a mental health day, or you decide to have a beach day, you can have 10 of those days over the course of the school year. And then on top of that, there's an additional 5 absences that you get. But beyond that, if you exceed that, then we have to disenroll you from the program, because the grant is stating that they want to provide childcare for families that are going to use this. Now, if you have a situation that comes up like you have the opportunity to take a vacation and you're going to go to North Carolina for 2 weeks, we can put your child's account on hold and then not count those absences, but we need to plan that in advance. So please let us know what's going on, and then we'll let you know how we can address that. Other reasons for an excused absence would be if you're having transportation issues, like if you miss the bus or you're having car trouble that day, if you have a doctor's appointment, if you have a dentist appointment, if you have a funeral or a memorial to go to, those are all excused absences as well. And again, when we're being audited, your child's sign-in sheets and out sheets are being reviewed. So we want to make sure that you are listing the time you arrive, the time you depart, and that you have a full legal and legible signature. And then if your child is absent, please, when they return to school, list the reason for the absence. So if they were out sick, you can just write sick and then sign your name. Or if you had a best interest day, just write best interest and sign your name. Here's a testimonial from one of our families. We'd love to hear wonderful things about ourselves, and we love feedback as well. So we want to hear the good with the things that we can work on. So please share that with us so we can continue doing our best to serve our community. And now is if anybody has any questions. I'm going to review the chat. Somebody asked if we're able to accommodate a vegetarian diet, and yes, we are. Yes, Crocs count as closed-toed shoes, and the mixers are happening. The mixer and open house for the part day program, if your child is coming to the 3-hour-a-day program that starts on August 1st, the mixer and open house is happening on August 1st. So your child will only come to school for an hour that day. For the morning program, it's going to happen at 8:30 to 9:30. And for the afternoon program, it's 12:30 to 1:30. And then for the full day programs, that would be in Fuego, Agua, and Viento. That is happening on, let me just double check. That's happening on Wednesday, August 20th from 4 to 5 p.m. And you are welcome to bring your child to that. We hope that you'll bring your child. And it's an opportunity for you to meet other children and families in the program. And then if anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask any other questions, you are welcome to do so. And if you don't have any questions, then you are welcome to log off. Thank you all for coming. We're so excited that you're going to be joining us. And I hope that wasn't too boring for all of you.
Thank you, Stacy. No, that was amazing. Thanks for going into great detail for us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy. I do have a question about tuition. Is it due then on August 1st or August 4th for the half-day program?
If you're paying tuition in the part day program, it would be August 1st is the first official day.
Got it. And then
but it would be prorated for just that one day. And then the next week would be the full week.
So if you're paying using the online portal, I guess my question is, like, will we be charged an amount that we can pay, or we have to manually enter an amount?
I think you would manually enter that, and then Vanessa could give you that amount.
Got it. Okay.
It's so weird that August 1st starts on a Friday this year, so it's a weird.
No worries. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have a really quick question as well. So our daughter receives speech and physical therapy. So can she be picked up, taken to those therapies, and then brought back for the rest of daycare, or is she out if she gets picked up?
She can be picked up and brought back.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So on the sign in and out sheet, you're just going to write really, really small on those days because there's just that one slot. And we do have children that receive speech therapy on site. So if it's something where the speech therapist can come here, we can try and work that out as well. And so that might be one less thing that you have to take your child to and take
wonderful
out of your day.
I will work and see if that's an option. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm going to stop the recording, but hang out for another few minutes in case anyone else has any questions.